Hello Libra, welcome to February. This is actually a really beautiful month that I am looking forward to. January started off the new year on a bit of a turbulent note. We had 3 retrograde planets, a pretty intense full moon in Cancer, and just kind of a lot happening. And slowly we were starting to build this forward moving momentum as Mars, Mercury, and then finally Uranus went direct. And now we are in February. This momentum continues to build. And this is actually a very good month to make progress without too many distractions or disruptions. March is also a very forward-moving month, but there is a lot more being thrown into the mix. So February really is a great month to just get as much done as possible, if I'm being honest with you. But there are also some beautiful things as well. It's not all work, no play, especially towards the middle of the month when your ruling planet Venus comes together with Neptune in Pisces, which is a beautiful energy we will dive a little deeper into later on in this reading. But overall, I'm really looking forward to February, and I think there's actually a lot for you that is going to be very rejuvenating this month as well. If you're excited for today's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new to my channel, my name is Michael, and I incorporate tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. If you're looking to dive even deeper, you can find links for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions with me in the description box down below, as well as links for the blog posts and my other social media accounts. So as I'm shuffling these cards for you, Libra, I'm going to kind of talk more about the astrology. We already talked about how Neptune and Venus are coming together. That is actually happening around the 5th, so the day after Valentine's Day. What's so interesting about this to me is that Venus is actually considered exalted in the sign of Pisces. Venus is the planet of love and beauty and luxury, and in the sign of Pisces, it helps tap into something otherworldly or even divine. It's kind of like unconditional love. And this can also help dissolve any sort of beliefs or patterns that are preventing us from reaching our desires. And especially for you, Libra, because you are ruled by Venus, so you're very affected by what it is doing this month. With the season being in Aquarius and then going into Pisces, there really is this focus on your passion, on your creativity, and even romance. But then later in the month, there's more of an emphasis on your physical routines and health and kind of grounding yourself. And I think maybe after the past couple of months, it's been a little bit ungrounding. It feels like there is something that is very replenishing to you around this time as well. Of course, we are starting January with a full moon in Leo on the 5th. And this is a really interesting energy because this represents a culmination or perhaps a completion. There's a lot of focus on community and belonging and social groups, and as well as your hopes and wishes. And so there could be something that is being realized, or there could just be something that is shifting or changing for you around this time. And then we do have a new moon that is happening in Pisces on the 20th, 2 days after the sun enters Pisces. And this is really interesting because, again, this is kind of you starting new habits, you committing to your health, and new beginnings with your routine or your daily grind. And also this is the same day that Venus is entering into Aries, and this is lighting up the part of your chart that rules over relationships. So there could be more emphasis on relationships with this as well, but at the same time there is this focus on your routines and on self-care. So what are the cards we have for Libra? The first card we have is the 5 of Wands. This is showing up as a past influence. There could have been some conflict or some tension. Someone disturbed the hornet's nest here. And it feels like there's kind of just been this buzzing and intense energy that's been a little bit frenetic. Also looking at the 9 of Wands at the bottom of the deck here. This feels very adjacent to this card to me. There could be this burnout. There could be this feeling of depletion or trying to work towards something when everyone else is fighting or nothing else seems to be working harmoniously. It's interesting because it's like you do have the wasp nest or the bee's nest here, and it's like there's something that's supposed to be a collective. There's something that's supposed to be connected. But I feel like Maybe you were just too exhausted to work things out or to connect with people. Maybe there was too much drama, or it was just too scattered. But I do kind of get this energy of like needing to pick and choose your battles, and maybe that's continuing at the beginning of this month as well. We do have the Page of Wands as well. A lot of fire is actually coming up. And the Page of Wands represents passion. It represents chemistry as well. So maybe there is someone coming into your life who's kind of catching your interest, or maybe there is something or some part of you that really wants to feel more passion or more inspired. And when I look at this Page of Wands, it's like I see this light bulb. I see this light bulb going off. And with the full moon in Leo, perhaps the idea or the inspiration that is coming to you is making you feel like you need to take your dreams more seriously. That's just something I'm getting. And there's this kind of sense of potential here as well. I feel like some of you have been wasting your potential. And maybe you've just been too focused on other people, or maybe you've been too focused on a specific person. This will be different for all of you. This is just a general reading after all. Let me kind of clarify this message. The Devil. Yeah, there's definitely been an energy that has been distracting, or a person that has been distracting to you. Maybe there are bad habits that are depleting you. And it feels like in order to move forward, you really need to step back into your passion. You need to find the things that make you feel excited. And if that's even too far of a stretch for you, sometimes you just need to go in the direction of what feels a little bit better. And from there, you can then figure out, okay, where do I go from here? What feels even better than this? And kind of like inch your way back into that energy. The Devil is kind of a heavy energy. There's often this feeling of being stuck or being trapped in a cycle or being controlled. And that's kind of interesting. Maybe for some of you, part of this emphasis on health is you stopping bad habits. Sometimes the Devil does represent addictions as well. So there could be addictions that are at play. Or this could even be something that's kind of around you, the people around you. There could be people dealing with addictions. There could be people who are locked in unhealthy patterns or behavior. It could even be involving someone who is a Capricorn, who has Capricorn energy, because the Devil represents Saturn, which rules over Capricorn. And we were just in Capricorn season, so there could be a lot of these themes that were coming up. And interestingly for you, Libra, Capricorn energy really does represent your fourth house, which is the house of home, family, your upbringing, your ancestry. So there have been a lot of things that have been coming up, maybe a need to heal your inner child, or focusing on these issues, healing these patterns. This feels like it has a lot of emphasis specifically for you. Excuse me as I take a sip of water. Maybe some of you are having a hard time communicating or expressing yourself as well. Although I have been recording a few videos at this point, so could just be fair that I am kind of stretching my own voice thin here. And again, maybe some of you are just feeling depleted or feeling like you're kind of pushing your limits. But I think with the Devil, it's like there are certain things you've been holding back. Because you know if you say certain things or express certain things, it's probably going to push people away. And there could be that level of control that's quite subtle. And maybe in some level you have a very strong attachment to someone or a group of people. Wow, more wands. Okay, we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely a lot that you are carrying this month. There's definitely a lot that you need to release and let go of. Often with the Ten of Wands, this card kind of shows up when it's like you've done everything you needed to do. Maybe you did overextend yourself. Maybe you really did overwork yourself. But now you're in a place where there is even more weight. There's even more pressure. And you either need to let certain things go, or you need to delegate certain tasks to other people, whatever it is that you need to do to kind of lighten your own load. And I think that's going to really start to make sense towards the middle of the month when we are entering more into Pisces season. And I think especially with the sun coming into Pisces on the 18th, and again, your ruling planet Venus joining Neptune in Pisces on the 15th, there really is this like need to change your habits or really like commit to your health or wellness. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So finally some energy that is not wands in the minor arcana. This is really interesting because this is about assistance and charity and help. I feel like some of you are afraid to ask help or ask for help or ask for assistance. Maybe some of you are afraid to tap into support systems or support networks because you still believe you have to carry everything all by yourself. That is a belief that I think you might be challenging quite a bit this month. You don't have to do everything yourself. You don't have to carry it all on your own. You actually do kind of need to maybe even risk a little vulnerability in order to be seen, in order to be received, and to be supported by people. Tell me more about the Six of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, I do feel like with the Eight of Swords, it's like there is this limiting energy, and it could be a belief system. It could be a life circumstance as well. But regardless of whether this is real or whether this is something that is kind of mental, you do need to move forward. And you're going to have to cut yourself free. And so the ball kind of feels like it's in your court a little bit. Like I feel like you do need to ask other people for help, or you need to be more comfortable asking people for help. Maybe that's part of these new routines. Or you could even be receiving assistance from someone that is helping you cut yourself free a little bit, helping you release some things and move forward. Okay, so let's pull a couple more cards here, and then we'll get into some specific questions. Wow, Seven of Wands. There is so much fire this month. I feel like a lot of you are going to need to defend something and stand your ground in some way. And maybe standing your ground is speaking your truth. Maybe that is speaking up for yourself. I do feel like there's this sense of like attack with the Five of Wands and Seven of Wands, and even the Ten of Wands and the Devil. There's really this pressure. I really do get this, and it's like I feel like someone is putting an unfair amount of weight on you. And it feels like in the past, Libra, you were like, oh no, I can do this, I can handle this, I can take this, I can play the role that this person needs me to play, or that these people need me to play. And it's almost like if you ask for help and these people just vanish, it kind of shows that there might be something vampiric going on. Tell me more about the Seven of Wands. We have the Eight of Cups. Interesting. Okay, so Eight of Cups with the Seven of Wands. Eight of Cups is often about leaving broken situations or situations that are no longer working. You know, we have this leaky roof. We have this door out. It kind of feels like there have been solutions that have been put into place that have kind of been band-aids. And they haven't really addressed the root of the issues, the root of the energy leakage or drainage, the vampirism. I feel like you really need to protect your energy. And some of you even need to take space for yourself or distance yourself from other people right now. It's like, maybe part of this is you are trying to juggle all of these different needs, both for your own life and for other people. And it's like, you can only focus on so many things right now. And it's like, you're kind of shifting the focus back onto yourself, or back onto what needs to be done, and what it is that you actually have agency and power in. The Hierophant, a very strong spiritual energy here. Some of you really do need to take care of your spiritual health this month. You may be consulting someone or talking with someone. There could be some sort of mentor or teacher who is helping you through this as well. The Hierophant can also represent organizations or religion. Wherever this support system is, I feel like you kind of need to find support in something that is larger than yourself, and even larger than the sum of its members or its people. It's like there is something symbolic here. And it feels spiritual on some level with the Hierophant. And I mean, with Mars in your 9th house, there could be something about travel, or there could be something about spirituality. That could also be a source of conflict too. Maybe there is a difference of opinions or perspectives. And it's like, you kind of need to check back in with your own truth. That's really how I'm feeling this message, Libra. Is there anything else here? Anything else? I'm curious. I think I'm going to go into love. I feel like there's definitely a lot of messages here that feel like you need to kind of distance yourself from people, or you just need to shift your focus. You need to get support from other people, and maybe other people can't support you in the ways you need to be supported. And so you're kind of looking for those systems of support. But I'm just curious what is going on for you, maybe romantically, in your relationships, in your love life. You have been going through a cycle with Saturn in Aquarius, and I only bring that up because Saturn's been in Aquarius since 2020, but it's actually entering into Pisces in March, and it is wrapping up this cycle. And so there's been a lot of focus on dating, on romance, but also creativity and passion. And it's just been a hard time to really just be happy and find enjoyment for Libra risings, or for anyone with Libra placements, really, but especially Libra risings. And the energy is now shifting, where it's like, you're going to be more focused, and you're going to have more discipline, I think, this year as well. But I feel like there's been a lot of lessons in relationships and in dating specifically, like kind of casual dating, as opposed to more committed relationships, long-term relationships, or like, moving in with someone type of relationship. I feel like the lessons have been more like, you haven't even been able to get into that point for a lot of you. Or maybe this message just isn't, this part of this reading isn't for you. This specific message might not be for some of you. What is the messages for relationships? What are the messages for Libra? We do have the Star. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of focus on healing right now and finding hope, finding faith. I feel like there are those of you who need to learn your worth, that there are good people out there. Because I feel like a lot of you have been burned. I feel like you got burned pretty bad. There's a lot of fire here. For others of you who are in relationships, there could actually be some sort of healing that is going on. But overall, this is actually a pretty hopeful card, but it's more like the relief that comes after a period of disruption or challenge. We have the Judgment card. I feel like there are things that need to be assessed. And there are very big decisions that you need to make regarding relationships. I do feel like some of you are just choosing to end a pattern and to heal. And like that's kind of the focus for relationships this month, which is sort of interesting. Again, Venus is going to be in Aries. That's really going to be more, I guess, in March, but it feels like the focus on love is more about healing your patterns in relationships, to be honest. We do have the Ace of Swords, a truth. This feels very tied to judgment. I feel like you need to take the high road. You need to trust your intuition. Even if it doesn't feel good in the moment, even if it's not what you want emotionally. That's honestly just what I'm getting with judgment. It's like you have to answer the higher calling. What is your spirit telling you to do? You really need to listen to your intuition this month, Libra. And I feel like I need to be very careful with saying that to this group, especially in kind of just a general tarot reading, right? It's very easy to hear these sorts of messages, trust your intuition, and to kind of just trust the situation you're in. But I have to just come back to this devil. I feel like someone has potentially manipulated you. And so I think you need to take some time and space so you're just certain that you are listening to your intuition, that you know what your intuition is, and it's not just wishful thinking. And that's all very interesting because I guess with Venus and Neptune coming together, there can be a very wishful energy there, almost delusional in some respect. Are there any other messages for relationships? And I kind of gave my disclaimer, so I kind of want to talk about this other part of it. With the Star and the Judgment card, I do feel like there is a soulmate or a very important connection that is coming into your life. I do get a romantic vibe from this. I am pulling primarily for romance and love, but this could represent another type of relationship as well. It certainly does not have to be a romantic relationship. The Ace of Swords makes me feel like this is a new person or a new connection. There is some sort of new communication that is happening between you and somebody else, or maybe you are just opening up to the possibility. This feels like a really open energy to me, and it's just so different both visually and energetically from these other cards, from all of these wands, from the Devil that's very red and very dark. These cards are very light. I mean, maybe with the exception of Judgment here, but there is like this kind of lifting that is happening in this card. And it feels like there is something that is kind of shifting in relationships, new insights, new levels of awareness. And I think with Pluto entering into Aquarius next month, which will be the case through June, then it will go retrograde, and then in 2024, you're going to really have the full dose of Pluto in your 5th house. There could be like ending cycles in the way you date or ending patterns there, but these are profound transformations that are actually giving rise to new beginnings. I'm just really noticing Pluto here in the Judgment card, the symbol for Pluto. That's kind of sticking out to me as well. And I feel like there's a lot that you've also just been healing from childhood as well, because that's how Pluto has been influencing you, and that's what was really loud in January. Any other messages for Libra? I think I'm just going to pull one last card. I'm kind of feeling an animal card for you. What is the animal wisdom for Libra? We have this spider. Dual message here, because I feel like you are weaving something, you are creating something, you are getting lost in the process, and you're finding something that you're very passionate about. But I also just want to say you could be stuck in someone's web. And you're kind of getting yourself out of that. And I don't ordinarily have that impression of spider. I actually look at them very favorably. I'm not someone who's afraid of them. Apologies if you're arachnophobic. Don't mean to be sticking that in front of the camera. Um, but I do feel like you are weaving something, and you are creating new systems and creating new patterns. And I think that's very appropriate with this Pisces energy this month. It's like you need to focus on creating structures and creating balance in your life. And that is when other things will flow. That is when these blessings will come in. And it's like not really chasing after things anymore. It's waiting for things to come to you once you have found something, or once you have created something that feels very purposeful or very natural to you. Anyways, those are all the messages I have for you this month, Libra. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what's coming up for you. What is all of this tension and conflict about? It seems like it's been definitely wearing on you. Maybe typing it out will help kind of release this and help you move forward. You're also welcome to check out the other videos, maybe for your moon or rising sign. There might be some messages for you there as well. And I will see you all next time. Take care.